the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Okay, here we go.
Where the plays get broken down and science gets denied.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
Hour 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Raising Cane studio.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 2 of OTB here live from the Raising Cane studio. Always want to remind you about our friends over at Bally's of Baton Rouge Casino and Hotel. A brand new star here in downtown Baton Rouge. It is completely renovated. I mean, everything got an upgrade. So go check out the new DraftKings Sportsbook. I mean, the gaming floor is all brand new. 5 new restaurants. You can bowl. I mean, there's so many different things you can do. I mean, a great night out, even if you're here locally, a little staycation. If you're coming for any kind of LSU sporting event, it is your go-to place to stay. They've even got suites that overlook Tiger Stadium. So go check out the brand new Bally's. It is a game changer. And if you know what the Bell used to look like and you see now what Bally's looks like, you'll be blown away. But you'll be blown away even if you didn't, because it is that brand new. It got that many upgrades, and we encourage you, go check it out. Bally's of Baton Rouge Casino and Hotel. All right, I do want to get back to LSU, but before we do, a couple of things like outside of what we normally would talk about, just some highlights from the NFL, including an incredible Sunday night football last night. And Caleb Williams played great. The Bears played great. But how about Brock Purdy? Out there without his biggest security blanket and George Kittle, it did not matter. Made play after play after play with his arm, with his legs. He was really, distributing the football to everybody. Hell, the fullback got a touchdown reception.
My God.
Shout out to Kyle Juszczyk.
No way.
Okay. So, man, that was a great, great game. And the NFL has been showing off lately in its primetime games.
NFL has been showing off the entire year on most of its primetime games. It's high-quality football. This has been one of the better NFL seasons I remember, just from a quality of play standpoint, from top to bottom. The games in primetime, like we just talked about, but my God, we're watching some of the clips right now. They're popping up at the end of the game. The Bears did basically like a hook and ladder. Like, it's just fun watching NFL football right now. The plays being made at the quarterback position, there was 2 great ones playing last night in Brock Purdy and Caleb Williams. Yep. And I know the term great gets thrown around real loosely, but those 2 played great last night, and they have been playing, and they've just elevated their performance. Caleb Williams continues to elevate his performance under that Ben Johnson system. But Brock Purdy, for being hurt and out a lot of the year, we got
2 weeks.
And we got to see, like, the genius of Kyle Shanahan when he was out. Yeah. My God, he made Mac Jones look good, right? Yeah. But the playmaking ability that he has had with his feet, you can watch this play right here. This is in the third quarter. Makes a play. Blah, 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 blah. Find a guy open. He's just making play. He had a couple of rushing touchdowns, I believe. And
2.
It's really fun to watch. So
he hit the Dougie after one of them.
And on a standard-looking white guy from Iowa, that was the last pick of the draft that has no business going that hard either.
But he did.
With a dance. He did.
He did
a couple times. But like there's the NFL's in a really great spot if you like young, really good quarterback play.
Yeah.
You look at did you see what Drake May did yesterday?
Yeah.
First player in NFL history with 90% completion, 5 touchdown passes, and 250 passing yards in a game. Decent little outing for him. So yeah, it's just we're in a cool spot right now. But yeah, that's I hope it continues. I hope the playoffs live up to kind of what these games have been all season in primetime, because they've been really good. Then you go watch this, another clip pulling up right now, the Eagles-Bills game, nasty weather, but a classic, just Josh Allen spastic hyper performance yesterday, and it didn't do well, and just made some like really bad play. I think a couple of years we were talking about Josh Allen always seems to make these plays in these games.
I know.
That just
it's the one thing that's holding him back from maybe being the best.
And there's a balance there. There's a really hard balance, and he's kind of proven that it's impossible to stay on balance the entire season.
Yeah.
Because he makes so many plays off schedule and with his feet and just being that hyper dude on the field. Like he makes the plays and you're like, all right, this is the best guy in the NFL. That's why he's the reigning MVP and he's like the best player in the NFL a lot of times.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side of that is you have to, as a coach, you just have to accept that him ad-libbing and doing all that craziness is going to put you in a bad spot every now and then. And I think those are with quarterbacks like that, it's just something you have to live with.
Yeah.
And hope it doesn't rear its ugly head at the wrong time.
Oh, man, the decision to go for 2. How do we feel about that? Because I know you can have a lot of different – for me, you're cooking them right now. Like, they hadn't scored since Jesus was a boy, and you're just going up and down the field at that point of the game. Now, you had an all game.
Yeah, I don't think
at that point –
they didn't have, like, no passing yards or something in the second. The Eagles had 0 passing yards.
But, so in this part of it, you're going, and you're going well. They're not. You're at home as well. Like, if you're on the road, okay, maybe I can kind of see it. All right, we're on the road. Like, we can't send this thing in overtime. But everything was going your way. And, look, the play was there. Josh Allen didn't make the throw. I get it, but it was an interesting choice in that moment to go for 2.
I didn't hate the call.
If you were, if you were the team that was struggling, you were hanging on, you're about to get knocked out.
Yeah, McDermott, he's an aggressive play caller all the time. He just likes to push the envelope, and I don't think I was shocked that they went for it. You got the reigning MVP. You're probably thinking also, I think the field goal extra point they had taken right before that was missed, or it got blocked.
Got blocked. Yeah.
And so it's rainy, it's nasty, it's wet. You don't know why it got blocked. Maybe the operation between the snap, hold, and kick was slow just because of the wet weather. And you might have just said, "Hey, look, this is
maybe the river was all wet.
Maybe the river's all wet." I mean, extra points these days. I mean, it's a 33-yard field goal. Like it's not a given. So maybe you're like, "Look, I got just as good a chance with Josh Allen to get 2 yards than to make a 33-yard in this conditions in this." Yeah. And like I said, the play was there. Josh Allen does not miss that throw ever.
Right.
I think he had an X-ray after the game too on a foot. So
it wasn't his foot that missed that throw.
You throw with your lower body, Jake.
You do, but not when it's at 6 yards. He just misses fine. I mean, he's an alien. He's Josh Allen. But look, Bill's still fine. Bill's going to make the postseason, obviously. But it was an interesting choice. And, look, you bring up great points about the extra point getting blocked from Badgley there. I get all that. But I just thought the way the game was going, the game flow of it.
Traditionally, I agree. They're off. Your defense is stopping them, holding them.
Yeah.
Their offense is playing bad. And, I know Taylor shakes his head a lot when we come in here on Mondays and we talk about, like, coaches just don't like points a lot. Yeah. But I don't hate the call to go and try to win it.
I'm actually – maybe you talked about it. I'm always like, why don't coaches just take the point? 90% of the time I'm with Jake. If you're at home, take it into overtime. I think the home team has a huge advantage. Maybe if I'm trying to get inside the mind of Sean McDermott, he's like, our offense hasn't done anything all game long. We got their defense on the heels.
Right.
I know we can tie it, but I don't know if I trust my offense to go down the field again in overtime. Let's try to do it right now. Like, maybe get in his head. Like,
I don't want Josh Allen to take another 30-yard sack.
It's one of those where it's like, if you convert, you look like a genius. If not, you're like, why didn't you kick it? I mean, it just is what it is. But I don't think it was bad either way.
Maybe these guys are tired. Got to end it now.
All right, right now, as we sit here on December the 29th, 8:09, we each can pick a team to win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
The one that we feel like right now
with no research.
No research. Just off the top of your dome. The one right now that you get to pick.
The Rams.
Okay. Alondra?
I'm going to keep it going with the bold and say the Bears.
Ooh, okay.
All right, coming off a loss. All right.
Caleb looks good, though.
No, he does. Looks great.
Good.
The defense is pretty good, too.
Okay. Yeah.
And is Rome Odunze and Luther
turnovers.
Burden back?
Rome's hurt, but Luther got hurt the very last play of the game.
Yeah.
But I think he's okay. He balled out last night.
Yeah.
Luther Burden's a stud. I can't believe he didn't get drafted higher. But anyways, Tay-Tay?
The San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I think they're going to wind up being the 1 seed. I think they're going to win next week against Seattle. I think they're going to get that done. And look, if they're fully healthy with Purdy, with McCaffrey, Kittle didn't even play last night. If that defense can get somewhat of a pulse, like Purdy might be playing as good as any quarterback in the NFL right now. And Shanahan's done it. He's gotten to the Super Bowl. Right. He's been terrible when he's gotten there, but we know he's able to do it a lot like McVay. So I'm gonna go the Niners.
I was probably going to go the 49ers as well because I think what Purdy did last night without George Kittle, that was very impressive. You've got the best overall running back in the NFL in C-Mac if he can stay healthy. Pearsall's back. He's healthy. He had some clutch catches last night. So I like that one. But to throw a different team out there, what about the Houston Texans?
So when you teased it earlier, I was like, I'm going Houston, no doubt about it. And I just switched last minute. That's a great pick.
8 games in a row.
Best defense in the NFL. That's going to travel.
The edge rushers on that team are going to get after any offensive line, right? They're so hard to gain a yard on, much less score points on. C.J. Stroud's playing better. Nico Collins is a game changer. Do they have enough in the running game? That's the question. Is Woody Marks enough in postseason football to be a guy that can give you what you need in the postseason? That I don't know. But, I mean, Jacksonville and Houston, like, choose your AFC South team. Jacksonville's won 7 in a row, and Houston's won 8 in a row. And those two teams, they're built kind of similar. Like you don't want to face the edge rushers from Jacksonville either.
So we're the Broncos to an extent. Because
Broncos are frauds.
Their defense is really good. They don't have a running game. That's like their biggest question mark. Like kind of all three of those teams are kind of
Broncos go flat kite.
Yeah, the AFC is going to be
2 point. Yes, it's true.
Is going to be fun to watch in the playoffs. Just like you said, the two hottest teams coming in. It's hard. It's funny to say like the two hottest teams aren't even the 1 seed when the 1 seed still like continues to win as well. But like the two hottest, the sexy teams right now.
Yeah,
Jacksonville with old T-Law. Don't forget about it. My God,
hope you held on to those cards, guys.
Seriously, and then the Texans. But then you got the Denver Broncos just sitting there as of right now.
1 seed, yeah,
the number 1 seed. But that like going into Week 18 of the NFL. There's going to be some really fun games to watch. Just like we just talked about the Seahawks and the Niners playing for the NFC West championship, and which will make whoever wins that game the number 1 seed. Then you got the Panthers and the Bucks playing to see who gets in. Then you got the Steelers versus the Ravens to see who gets in. So a lot to play for this weekend coming up.
Right now in the AFC, Denver would be your 1 seed, but the playoff matchups would be the Patriots and the Bills in New England. It would be Jacksonville and the Chargers in Jacksonville. It would be the Steelers and the Texans as well there. And the Steelers can clinch without like it winning as well, right? Or is it only win and get in?
Winning in?
Yeah, no, it's
only win and get in.
If they would have won yesterday, they would have clinched it.
If they would have won yesterday, or if the Ravens would have lost, right? There was one other scenario that somebody can clinch.
I know for Carolina,
can clinch
if the Falcons win.
If they lose,
even if they lose, if they lose, but the Falcons win both games, so tonight and next week, then that would be another way. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, no, the Pittsburgh and Baltimore game, that's sudden death. That's the playoffs start next week for them. Which is a shame because obviously I'm cheering.
It's a shame they get the 4 seed when they're 9 and 7.
If the Falcons lose tonight, it's sudden death between Bucks Panthers.
Yeah,
Sunday.
The Steelers would have clinched yesterday if DK wouldn't have punched that fan in the face.
Yeah, that's on him, Ricky Bobby. You can't be doing that.
Wait, but did y'all see the fan held a press conference?
And
he had like a fold-out table.
Yeah.
He had those tiny little water bottles that just cracked me up because why you got them tiny ass water bottles on the table? And then he was wearing a jacket
with a hat,
with a backwards hat, a backwards Lions hat, flow out the back. I'm like, what? Who?
Honestly,
this man is so unserious.
I cannot. He's so
he was
punchable.
like trying to like pause.
He's so punchable.
Yes, he was trying to pause for emotion. Very punchable. I don't even hate DK for the move. And he's still calling him by, I think he said that he didn't like that he called him by his first name. And in the press conference, he did it again.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? a troll.
Yeah, that was like
so
he was like
funny.
trying to pause
Yes.
for emotional effect.
And he's like, I wish he would just come out and tell the truth. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't really care what happened. I would punch this guy.
Yeah, this guy.
This guy.
I don't even need an
Maybe after the
explanation
game,
as to
though.
why DK hit him. Like,
not with all the cameras.
He's
on.
very
DK, make
punchable.
contact too. What are we doing?
Yeah, if you're gonna punch him, at least get
Yeah,
Right.
mate, just do it.
at least give him a black
Did
eye.
he get he got 2 games or 1?
2 games.
Two.
So he's out next
this week?
He's out next week.
yeah.
Oh, because it was bad. Like,
You know who, and also the Chargers starting linebacker. He got 2 games, so the same amount of games because the Cowboys receiver was on the ground and he launched himself. Like instead of just touching him, he launched himself, and so he got 2 games. Perriman. You know who upheld the suspensions, right? Both times.
Nope.
Jordy Nelson. He's in charge of it.
nice.
So
Former Raider.
Jordy Nelson
Former Raider.
actually affecting A-Rod.
He could lift the suspension after seeing the guy that got punched his press conference and be like,
Did they have beef? We thought they were friends. I don't
people
know.
are talking.
Yeah.
Oh, do you lift that suspension for the second game after that press conference yesterday?
Maybe.
Like he deserves
Yeah.
it.
Like, we get it, DK.
Yeah.
You lift his suspension, give him his fine money back.
Yeah, we get it. This guy's punchable.
Either of you know Mike Tomlin. If you do, before next week's game, can you call and be like, hey, you're actually allowed to run the ball in the fourth quarter? Like, that's a thing you're allowed to do. Because they averaged 5.5 yards per carry yesterday against the Browns.
Yep.
They just abandoned it.
Yeah, I saw a funny post yesterday. It said Steelers when it's 4th and 1, and it was that clip of Michael Vick with a vortex throwing it out of the stadium. Yeah, they just threw it deep.
Or they're like, hey, Aaron, throw a route all the way to the sidelines that'll gain 2 yards
Yeah.
instead of just running it. I'm like, that's low percentage. It gets you 2 to 3 yards. Just run the
It's true. I mean, with DK out, man, they were stacked. They were taking away the middle of the field, which is obviously what Aaron wants to do a lot. They're taking away doubling people towards the inside and kind of making them go outside. But yeah, they were missing DK because they do not have an option outside.
Oof, bad receiver room. All right, we'll take a break. And when we come back, let's give you a little transfer portal update. Is it open? No, not yet. But there's a ton of people already that are committed to going into the transfer portal. Who's in the portal? What is LSU looking to get out of the portal? Other conversation when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Portal comeback. Go to PelicanRoof.com. Portal. I forgot about that. We trademarked that like way long ago. PelicanRoof.com, the website for Pelican Roofing in Lafayette, in Baton Rouge, boots on the ground in both 5-star reviews, though, both locations, because they have over 600 5-star reviews. They are always storm ready. They are your solution for any roofing need that you have. Unmatched roofing expertise as well. So if you've got an issue or if you're just looking to get a new roof, right? It's about that time or repair, like whatever it is, in Baton Rouge, in Lafayette, everywhere in between, they can help you out. PelicanRoof.com.
Yeah, we know if you do have to get a new roof, if you've been damaged by a storm, or maybe you're building a new house or an extension to your house and you got to have a new roof, go check out their financing option. We know it's a big decision financially for you and your family, so go check them out. They can have the best finances of any roofing company around. Go check them out, PelicanRoof.com.
From the locker room to the airwaves, it's Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
I don't really wanna know how your garden grows, 'cause I just wanna fly. Lately, did you ever feel the pain in the morning rain as it soaks you to the bone? Or maybe I just wanna fly, wanna live but don't wanna die. Maybe I just wanna breathe, maybe I just don't believe. Maybe you're the same as me, we see things I'll never see. You and I gonna live forever.
Welcome back in. OTB here live from the Raising Cane studio. The transfer portal opens up on January the 2nd. No shying away from it from LSU's head coach Lane Kiffin. He's basically had the countdown on social media there when it opens and how excited he is that it is going to open, but there's a lot of LSU players that you saw play in the Texas Bowl that have already, stated their intention of joining the others in the transfer portal. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to leave, doesn't mean you're going to leave, but there's a lot of LSU Tigers that played here last year that have already said they're going into the portal, including Tay, one position in particular.
Yeah, you now have 6 offensive linemen in the transfer portal. We here at LouisianaSports.net, great job of updating that. Actually, Ori Williams, though, entered yesterday morning, and that is not on this list. So now you have lost, as of right now, they can always come back, Paul Mabinga, Tyree Adams, Cohen Eccles, DJ Chester, Carius Kern, and Ori Williams. Few of those are surprising to me. Like Tyree Adams entering is a little odd to me, but, guys like Mabinga, Chester, Ori Williams, maybe not as surprising, but 6 O-linemen in the portal. Like, maybe that's the only position where you're like, that hurts when they enter the portal. I mean, obviously, Ahmad Bro kind of surprised a lot of people, but that spot, you were already thin there. 6 guys entering the portal is a lot.
Yeah, it's a group that struggled all season long. I do want to be fair to them. I do think a lot of it had to do with the scheme that they were put in. We've broken that down 100 times here, and certainly the running scheme that they were put in. But it is, it's a unit that struggled. It's a unit that doesn't have a lot of depth there. Again, when your backup center is the first guy to go in at tackle, kind of tells you where it's at. I don't love starting over if you're, a team with like 5 new starting offensive linemen, maybe. Now, there could be some that take their name out of the portal and maybe more comes back. Like, you still got decisions to be made there. But let's not act like you're losing, some guys that aren't replaceable. And I hate to say it that way, but based off what we saw, it's hard for us to evaluate how good they can be, how good they were, because the scheme wasn't really good for anyone.
Oh, no, Jake, it was awful. Yeah, so, you could look at this from, a shallow perspective, from a 1,000-foot view perspective, and be like, okay, who cares? Our offensive line was bad this year. We couldn't run the ball. We couldn't pass protect. Our offense was historically bad. Yeah. Who cares if it's obviously it was a clear rebuild at the offensive line. Well, obviously, we're going to have 5 new guys. Well, I would pump the brakes a little bit on that because just like Jake was alluding to, we evaluating offensive line play was really difficult for me this year. Of course, you see the bad plays. You see the getting beat one-on-one in pass protection from the tackle standpoint. We saw that. That happens to most people unless you're one of the top guys in the country, especially when you're young and learning the position. I think the line was put in a very unfair position this year. And I don't know I don't think their technique was very good. Certainly the scheme that they were playing in wasn't very conducive to allowing their talents to take over and even to progress. So we didn't see progression from them, which is hard, which is to me is if you're being coached the right things and taught the right things, progression happens to anybody with talent. And we know these guys at least had talent. They're at LSU for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I would have, and look, they're just because they have made their intentions known that they're entering the portal doesn't necessarily mean that they're leaving.
Right.
They're probably leaving. But maybe you get one back, whatever, given it says, okay, this is a guy I really want to have back, and we're going to make a spot for you, and here's the plan for you, and here's the offense, why you're going to be better in this scheme. I would have liked to seen some of those guys play in a little bit better scheme, to have a better evaluation of them. You can't tell me that that these guys are good or bad run blockers. You can't tell me that because the run blocking the run scheme was so bad this year. We had too many RPOs. There were so many wide receivers. Like these, you can't. Now you can make the claim. You're like, well, I saw them in one-on-one pass protection and they got beat. I get that. That's clear. You saw it. You can't escape that. But what are they being told day in, day out? What are they being taught in the offensive line room? What are they practicing? Are we still having hour and 15-minute practices where we're not doing full contact one-on-one? You get better as an offensive lineman when you're getting down and dirty in the trenches in practice, when you're callousing your body, when you are fighting every single practice.
And you had the defense asking, can we be more physical in practice?
Yeah, because that's how you work on your technique. You can't just completely rely on practicing against the dummies, the tackling dummies, and the pads, and working on like kick steps and things like that. And then you can't rely on we're going to improve because of our first full contact is in the game. Like you can't do that. You got to practice better. So like the evaluation for the people that are entering the portal for that lineman is incomplete.
Yeah,
and it's inconclusive.
Yeah.
We don't really know. But if they go somewhere, I wish them well. I hope they go get awesomely coached in an awesome scheme. And I hope if Lane Kiffin wants some of them back, that they would entertain
I think
that
some
as well.
of them, yeah, I think some of them that are in will end up. I'm not saying all of them. It might just be one, but I do think some do come back to LSU. Darius inside the Bayou 4 chat. Can y'all explain why the scheme was so bad? Can you elaborate? We've done that for like the last 6 months, but just
we basically poo-pooed on it.
Yeah,
a
just
lot.
the Cliff Notes version. Things that are nice, like change of pace, or a nice like wrinkle to your offense, were the foundation pieces of this offense, and that's always a troublesome thing.
And most of the year we ran, most of our running game was RPO.
Yeah, which is
I think
again,
I
nice
have,
little change
I have
of
an
pace,
obligation
like,
to say run test option, where it's the offensive
Wait, is zone
lineman.
read and run
Yeah,
pass option RPO the same thing?
Oh,
Because
zone
a lot of
read.
commentators kind of think that that's the same
that's
thing.
true too. They just weren't given a fair because if you're running an RPO and you don't know if their quarterback's running or throwing it, they do not have a chance. They weren't being taught. They wouldn't have a chance to put their head down and get to the second level. Yeah. So like they would just have to sit there in a stationary place and try to hold up on one person for 3 seconds, and it's not going to happen.
No,
you're not going to do that. And there was no power run. There was just
not a one.
And then, like we've said, we went to a training camp practice, and it was over in an hour and 20 minutes.
That part just made me angry.
It just so what I'm saying, like you build offensive lineman technique and skill, like in practice,
right?
Like that's where he gets. Like you got to run live drills. You got to live short yardage, live run drills. 9-on-7. Well, did they run 9-on-7 that day we were there? No inside run.
They didn't have 9-on-7 for like a majority of the season, which is wild.
Like, what are we doing?
Like, as somebody that played a position that's going to be played between the tackles, like I had to get calloused in 9-on-7. Like you knew every day, like
you had to.
It was going to be a smelling salt right before you went to 9-on-7 type deal.
Yep.
Like got to hit the salt because it's go time. Like that's where I'm going to make my hay.
And just think if you're a center or a guard,
oh,
right?
Oh my God, you don't.
And
have
like
that?
so you've just gone through 3 or 4 individual where you're blocking and shadowing each other. Like, oh, I got to reach this guy. So you'll have one offensive line, a backup offensive lineman, across from you, and you'll have like a pad and an alley there, and there's a specific technique you're working in these drills. And then you take those drills to a live situation where you're going against a defensive tackle that's also being taught how to beat those things. So like that's where you learn your technique.
Right.
And I think they were put in an unfair spot because of poor practice habits by the coaches, and a poor scheme by the coaches.
Great point here by Bilbo inside the chat. And my God, was I screaming it on the broadcast. Remember when LSU was at the 6-inch yard line, which the referee told you 6-inch yard line, was first and goal and ran 2 plays from shotgun. Yeah, I remember it. Unfortunately, that was Saturday, and we were all watching.
And
God, what are you doing? Get under center.
Stop,
what are
stop
you
clapping.
doing? You're at the 6-inch line. You're going to run it from shotgun. I'll never want to see that. Like, and if you do, like, have better plays than the ones you had, because you should be under center. Anywho, I do want to talk about the defense, though. The guys that are potentially coming back, maybe some needs on defense through the transfer portal, because offensively, y'all, it's a complete reset. Every position. Like, of the people and the names, Trades Green and Kyle Parker, maybe. You guys see where Kyle Parker's at. You don't really know any other position. You don't know quarterback, running back. I mean, Harlan Berry gets 3 carries in the game. He fumbles. You don't see him again. Then on Instagram, he's posting the announcement that Frank Wilson's going to Ole Miss. So a lot of LSU fans already asking, what does that mean? All right.
Are we going to trade running backs?
I don't think, probably. I do think that there's so much more that you can get out of Caden Durham if he's in a better scheme. He still averaged over 4 yards a carry in this scheme. He's your best pass protector without question. Like the Jawan Johnson stuff, that looks like it's over, which it never was never was, I think, the best case scenario for anybody involved. Playing running back when you haven't done it. There was a couple of pass protection situations just because he hasn't been through it. Like a quick example, because I know we got to take a break. Like they bring two guys. The back's responsible for both of them. Now, if they both come, the quarterback's got to take one of them with the throw. You take the other. You never choose the outside guy. You always go most dangerous, which is the Mike linebacker that is, coming through the B gap. Well, Juwan Johnson, because they hadn't played running back his whole life, he goes to the defensive back coming off the edge, which the quarterback, that's his responsibility with the throw, with the route. Well, here comes the Mike linebacker, scot-free. Michael Van Buren has no time, sack. Like those are things that you can learn them, sure. But if you've played running back your entire life, it's just a habit. Like most dangerous. Quarterback's got that guy. So like even little things like that. So the offense, just hit the reset button. Maybe outside of 3 guys, 2 guys. I don't know. Yep. Like outside of like the absolutes is whatever Trey Green wants, you got to find a way to give it to him. Yep. It's going to be a completely new offense from top to bottom.
Yeah, it's got to be. And Lane has got to. And I know we'll come back for break and we'll talk about it. I know you had talked to Lane during the broadcast and had some questions about that. So we'll kind of get your thoughts on what he said about that. Like, how is he going to evaluate the current players? But before we go to break, I want to tell you about our partners over at RejuveMeMedical.com. If you're looking for a little HRT, hormone replacement therapy, why would you want that? Well, as we get older, we get a little less energy. We get a little less drive in the workplace, maybe in the bedroom, wherever it is. Maybe you want to get that back. Get that zest for life back a little bit. That's where that testosterone replacement therapy comes. And look, it's not about being like this guy walking around with a high testosterone number or whatever. It's just about getting back to normal. Some people drop lower than other people. So just get back. Go get your blood work taken. You can call them and get 20% off your initial labs if you just call them and set that appointment. They got locations all over Louisiana. I think they got 12 spots. From top to bottom, left to right, everywhere. So you got a Rejuve Me clinic close to you. So go check them out. Their whole menu of options. They got the GLP-1s. They got the peptides for overall health, better sleep, faster healing, recovery, whatever it is. The leader in Louisiana for hormone replacement therapy for 10 years now. So go check them out, RejuveMeMedical.com. All right, when we get back from break, Jake's going to tell you a little bit about his interview with Lane Kiffin during the game, and I'm going to tell you what is really starting to bother me about Lane Kiffin when we get back right here on Off the Bench.
Off the bench. Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from the Raising Cane studio. Did have an opportunity during the game to catch up with new LSU head football coach Lane Kiffin. And one of the things that I asked him was, well, hey, you've game planned against this LSU team multiple years in a row. Obviously, you play every single year. And now that the portal is opening on January the 2nd, when you go into, all of those decisions and you're making roster management decisions, is it like, hey, I remember from game planning this, or is it a blank slate? And he goes, it's a blank slate because it's a new scheme. You got new coaches. It's a lot of new. Now he's like, you don't forget about the good, the bad, obviously. It's like, hey, we want to get Weeks back. You know what I mean? And he did mention, it's like, we want some of those defensive guys back, and almost alluded to a clean slate on offense, as we talked about in the last segment. And look, I mean, Wood Weeks is going to be, I'd be shocked if he's not on this football team. You got Lane Kiffin. We know the connection there, but also Blake Baker. And Blake Baker and Witt are as close as you can be between a player and coach, right? I mean, that relationship is great. And, Witt's just got to get healthy. He didn't have an offseason last year because he was battling, through the injury, had rehab. He's basically been rehabbing for over a year now. And so to get him healthy, give him an offseason. But fully expect Whit Weeks to be right in the middle of that LSU defense. And so I think you start looking at a Whit Weeks. Tamarcus Cooley certainly is a guy that I think you want back on this team defensively. I thought he was really good coming over this year in the transfer portal. And just keeping your guys as well. I mean, obviously, DJ Pickett. I know he didn't have the best game. I know he got exposed for the first time in the bowl game, but obviously we know what DJ Pickett is, a true freshman, what he can be. I thought Deshaun Spears was awesome. So there's a couple of guys defensively, obviously, that you're going to make sure wear an LSU uniform next year. But, I did find it interesting that he's like, no, you kind of blank cheated because you're going to be running something different. So even if it was good, it worked in that system, but offensively, we're going to be running something different here. Mm-hmm. And so I think we should expect a brand new offense, personnel-wise, like we talked about last segment. But the defense, it is all the same. You got some new coaches coming over, but it's Blake Baker, it's Corey Raymond, it's Jake Olson, it's Peoples on the edge. So I expect some of those guys that we saw in the bowl game that had some good moments. P.J. Woodland had a great year that we just don't talk about because of Mansour Delane and DJ Pickett. But I would expect, 6, 7 of those. I was hoping Alondra was listening. Of those defensive guys to be back there, and Lane pretty much confirmed when we talked to him in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think this is a clear and obvious keep it simple, stupid type situation when you're
we call that the KISS method.
The old KISS method. Your defense was good, and you're keeping on your defensive coaches, so let's keep some defensive players. Your offense was bad, and you're changing all your offensive coaches, so probably going to replace most of that. And we're seeing clear signs of that with the people deciding to enter the transfer portal. So there's going to be a lot of change on the offense. It's not going to look anything the same, but like we said, keep it simple, stupid. Defense is probably going to look way more familiar than it did as it was this year. So, I think that is interesting though, because you do he's schemed against LSU for multiple years now. He's schemed against Blake Baker. Yeah. And this year,
the reasons why he hired him.
He had a really probably detailed look this year of every single player on LSU's offense and defense. But he is right though. It's a new scheme, so you can't necessarily take what you studied in the past and make just a blanket assumption going forward on how that, let's take an offensive lineman, how that person's going to do in your scheme versus the scheme they were in, because they might be a completely different player. But again, you would fully expect with the same defensive coaches coming back that most of the the defense is going to be their focus.
Some of the core that has eligibility core coming back.
No, just make sure Trey Dez stays on offense.
Yes.
But
I would say Pickett on defense, Trey Dez on offense.
I wanted to say the thing that is bothering me right now about Mr. Lane Kiffin.
Forgot about that.
I tease that. So obviously, if you tease it, you got to say it.
Yeah, we've known for that here.
I understand at the beginning it was a tough decision to leave Ole Miss and come to LSU. I get it. You put your heart and soul into a place. You had a best team in Ole Miss history when you decided to leave, which we are excited about, of course. But I think it's time. I think it's time to stop claiming them. I think it's time to just fully focus on LSU. Let's stop, putting the blue and the red heart emojis on Twitter. Let's stop talking about them. I get it. You're cheering for them. Those are your guys. You love those guys. Let's just focus on LSU.
Okay.
I think it's time.
Yeah.
I got a week, cool. 2 weeks, cool. Maybe through the first playoff game. Let's just go ahead and shelf that, and let's just focus on talking about LSU. Maybe when you're doing an interview during the bowl game, wear something that says LSU on it.
Oh. Your Max didn't have a purple shirt on?
If you were the coach for LSU, would you have worn something that said LSU?
I don't know.
It was were you trying to stay neutral during the bowl game because Ole Miss is still playing? What's up?
Yeah, when you coached the 10U Packers out there, did you have Green Bay gear on?
I had a green shirt.
Of all the Green Bay gear you have in your house,
actually I don't have a lot, which is kind of funny.
That's true. It was Reebok too, so I don't blame you.
Yeah, it was Reebok and nasty, 130% cotton.
It was wool.
So, yeah.
A wool shirt.
I don't know. Old man on the lawn. Why are you trying to be being neutral? I get it. The leather jacket looked good.
It's good looking.
You look good in the leather jacket. I get it. Why are we trying to be neutral? ain't Switzerland. You're the coach for LSU.
Maybe it was like one more time since, Frank was coaching down there. And next time we see him, it'll be purple and gold.
So what? You're the coach.
I don't know. I don't even remember. What did Brian Kelly wear when he did the Texas Bowl interview?
Let's not.
I'm trying.
You trying to find
let's
us?
let's not compare that.
I know. I don't even want to talk about it.
Then the whole leaving early was a bad look. I don't want to get too much on an old man on the lawn here situation. Leaving is kind of bad luck.
I would have left that game early too.
If I wasn't working.
I mean, you're not paid $14 million.
I get paid, just not $14 million.
I'll stay
But
here.
if y'all
You know
want to
what?
pay $14
I'll wear the
million,
LSU shirt too, or a pin. How about button?
it didn't look like a lapel guy unless it was like a press conference.
Just a button. Maybe a credential that says LSU on it.
I'll be honest with you, and look, I get it. I've heard that from a lot of people. If you fix this LSU offense, you can wear teal, you can wear pink, you can wear yellow, you can wear green, you can wear sky blue. Give me a random color. Violet.
I don't know, bud.
You wear whatever you want.
Yeah, boy.
Just fix this offense because
Just wear it.
Sheesh.
Just put a pin on. And stop just atting Ole Miss. Like I get it, he ats his other schools.
Alabama still.
It's over. You choke like if you. It's over.
God, old
LSU.
man. All right, we'll be back. More OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to GoTommies.com. Geaux. Tommies with a Y.com. When you go to the website, you'll clearly see the difference, and you'll see the banners. You'll see the awards. That's what they do. They stack banners every single year because they are the best of the best. That's not just us saying that. That's other people telling you that. Now, we're also going to say it because we've worked with Tommy. But go check it out for yourself. This year in the Advocate, there's a lot of companies that do windows in Baton Rouge, right? And they do good work, but they don't do the best job because in the Advocate this year, best windows, that went to Tommy's.
Whoops.
Windows, doors, and siding, right? So they are the best of the best, and the customer service is incredible. I mean, Tommy, a member of the Golden Band from Tigerland, he's LSU through and through. Go check him out. Go Tommy's.com.
Jake, have you ever heard of a lifetime?
Yeah, it's a long time.
It's a long time.
Eternity.
It's a whole life, actually. So
Yeah.
Windows Door Sign of Tommy's, if they install it, they warranty that thing for life. So give them, if you have a project, make sure you give them a call, get a price, talk about the project, go Tommy's.com.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from the Raising Cane studio. I want to remind you about our friends over at Marucci. MarucciSports.com is the website. Got baseball, softball season cranking up. I know a lot of people are going to start their practice coming up this weekend, so make sure you have all the latest and greatest when it comes to the bats, the helmets, the gloves, everything, even the grips. Not just on baseball bats, but also on golf clubs. They have got you covered. If you want to go take a couple of hacks, right, go to the Hitter's House off of Segan right there at the headquarters. You can get in and look, you can do it whenever you want. You swipe the card and be it softball, be it baseball, you get in there. And if you're looking for a new bat, you can even test that bat out at the Hitter's House. So just incredible options. Ask them about the trade-in as well. Like you trade in an old bat, you get a credit. You're going to have the best of the best. That's why they are the official bat of Major League Baseball. Go check them out at the Marucci's Hitter House, or you can go check them out at MarucciSports.com. MarucciSports.com.
Sorry, I didn't even mean to whistle there.
The microphone's on there, bud.
Mm-hmm.
Which position do you think gets filled first in the transfer portal? Quarterback? I feel like you have to have.
First, a tough question.
I feel like you have to have that one figured out. You
First,
kind of got a
it's the
salary.
most
You got a
important.
salary cap now, basically, right? So you got to kind of figure out what you got to do around that money.
It kind of depends when it first. Is it the portal opens exactly what?
January 2nd.
January 2nd. All right. So it kind of depends. Obviously, if your main target is going to potentially be Trinidad Chambliss, it's not going to be the fastest,
I would
right?
think that
You're going to
if
fill
that
with
is,
somebody.
and you've had those conversations.
Well, we've also heard, like, we've talked to DJ Lagway or his representatives or whatever.
That's not happening.
Like, I know. I don't want it to happen, but, like, there's a lot of options. You got to think that most quarterbacks that are going to the portal are going to be looking and hoping that LSU gives them a call.
When we come back, weekend winners kick off hour number 3.
Off the bench.